What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's Minecraft video, I'm going to be showing you my personal strategies for each minigame in the Sonic Party Games on the Hive. And basically, I'm going to give you my personal strategy and why I think it's best / why I use it, and then I will also give an alternative strategy in case you do not want to use my primary one, just for a little bit of variety. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Alright, to start off the video, let's talk about Ring Royale. My main strategy for Ring Royale is to follow the lines and clusters of rings at the beginning. So the reason for this is because you're not going to really blast people because everyone else is going in their opposite directions to try and get rings. And so basically my idea is go to the places where you know there will be lots of rings. So I have a rough idea of where the rings are on the map, and I try to go to those places at the start. As the game progresses, I try most importantly to not get into spam blasting, because in reality, if you're a good player, that's really only going to hurt you. If someone has like 12 rings and they're going to shoot you, and that you shoot them, losing 6 rings isn't going to hurt. Losing 50 rings, probably going to hurt. So, additionally, I also try and stay on rooftops as well. So, because those also get you rings, and it's also way harder to get shot because less people know how to get up, or less people just don't go up in general. An alternative strategy, if you don't have a rough idea of where rings are, just run around on the rooftops and the ground level, and most importantly, just try not to interact with others. Just run around, try and get some rings, and I think out of both of these strategies, the most important thing to take away is to just not engage with other players, because it really only hurts you. Alrighty, on to game number 2. So for game number 2, we are going to talk about Ring Dash. So my biggest strategy for Ring Dash is to try and stay at the top of the map. How do I do this? Well, sometimes I purposely die if I'm too low on the map, and towards the top of the map, there's clusters of rings that you can collect. There's way more rings at the top of the map than there is at the bottom, and so that allows me to get way more rings, especially at the beginning. To add on to this strategy, I also aim with my plus higher than you would expect, because it makes it way easier to make it to the rings at odd angles. An alternate strategy for Ring Dash is to simply make your way back up with the bounce pads and the sneak dash feature to get the rings. Some of you may be better at doing this instead of dying. For me though, I prefer just falling off the map. Alrighty, so the third game that I want to talk about is Badnik Range. Now, for Badnik Range, there are a ton, and I mean a ton of different strategies that you could use. But the one I personally use is to go for spinners, buzz bombers, and chompers. I rarely go for the motor bugs, and I try to get the gold ones if they are relatively simple to get, and if there's not a lot of competition, for example, I'm like one of the only people on my side, then I really do try and get those golden ones, because they can just get you a lot of free points if no one's going for them. Something else I do, which is also the most important thing, is to not retract your bow all the way back, because you don't need to. It's almost like a laser. So if you have prior knowledge of like you aim your bow a little bit higher up so the curvature is better, this is literally a laser. If your plus is on the target, it'll hit the target. This is not like typical, it does not feel like typical bowing, so it's a little bit of an adjustment that you have to do. An alternative strategy is to just go for the creatures close to you. For example, if you spawn in on the left side of the map, you would only go for the left and middle creatures. However, I've never really used this, but maybe if you're not as good at distance aiming, then you would use this strategy. Whether you use either of these strategies or not, I'd say the two most important things you got to take away is that 1, you don't need to fully retract your bow. That's not needed. It'll still go very far. And 2, these bows are literally lasers. They're not like normal Minecraft bows. They will hit your target if your plus is on the target. Alright, on to game number 4, which is Chao Rescue. So for Chao Rescue, what I do is at the start, you want to look for a singular blue pad. And basically what I want to do is I want to go follow a specific route 4 times over. So what you do is you walk on that blue pad, you go straight, you go forward, and then you should see a red pad, a blue pad, and then another red pad, and you simply go on that. Then you grab the first Chao, then you go to the right, you go up the other bouncy pad, grab the second Chao, and then you just go right back to the middle and repeat the process. So basically, this allows you to get 8 Chao really easily, and usually 8 Chao will get you first place. From there, I go to this specific area, so basically from spawn, there's this area that has 1 red pad, and basically you go to that, and there's a super easy Chao right there, and sometimes I can get the 9th Chao by doing that. So it's actually a really good strategy, so you can get up to 9 Chao if you do the strategy. An alternative strategy, instead of just going straight, is to actually go to the right, as there's 2 other ways that you can go to get more Chao there. Now, it is way slower, but you can still easily get 8 going through this route. And I would highly recommend this alternate strategy if it's very crowded doing the first one. Alrighty, on to game number 5, which is Red Light, Green Light. Now, my strategy for this game is very straightforward. I just try to be as patient as possible. However, I do risk to try and get checkpoints when I pretty much know that I can get it. So if I am like right past the checkpoint and I get a violation, it doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna go back like 2 feet. So that's why I do that. I also memorize the pattern of the lights so I know if it's a good idea to go or to stop on specific spots. For example, there are 2 balloons and basically there's a middle platform in between those, and I always know to stop at the middle platform because if you don't, you're gonna get a violation right before the checkpoint, and that's just no fun. An alternative strategy is to just literally be patient. Don't take any risks and just follow the light exactly. That usually still gets you placed very high. Alrighty, on to game number 6, the final game, which is Go Fast. So since this is just a giant obstacle course, basically I'm just going to explain which ways I go and why I do. So I'm going to be talking very fast, just a brief warning. So basically I go on the middle route, and there's this little ledge that allows you to avoid all the spikes, so I would recommend going on that. Bounce on the blue pad, bounce on 3 red pads, and then you bounce up here, make the checkpoint. That's probably the second hardest part. Then what you do is you jump over these 2 spikes, then you go on the 2 bouncy pads, go on another bounce pad. These lasers are very fast, so I have to wait a little bit, and then you should be timed perfectly to where you miss the chemicals or whatever. And then you jump down, and then there's this, okay, good job me. Then you jump down and there should be a secret ledge right to the left of the dropper area, and then you go speed, you get the speed boost, you go immediately left, you dodge all of that, you go dodge the lasers, you go down, and then you finish first. It's a really quick process, and it usually, unless they're taking the exact same route as you, usually will get you first. Every time I've done this route, like 95% of the time I've gotten first. It is a very good strategy. An alternative strategy is, instead of going in that secret area, just go down the dropper and go normally. So that way also still gets you done really fast. But the start, I really just recommend going that specific starting way. And also, that is like the fastest way by a long shot. Alrighty guys, so before we get into the outro, what did you learn today? Oh, well, we learned how to beat T-Man 1010. No, that's incorrect. We learned strategies on how to beat the Hive's new game mode, Sonic Party Games. I can't believe you didn't think of that. Maybe it's because I showed you my strats. You guys might beat me. Maybe. Lol, noob. And yeah, you guys, I think that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Big shout out to all of my tier 2 channel members. Their names will be on the screen here. If you'd like to know what perks they get or become a channel member yourself, then make sure to click that join button right next to the subscribe button or use the link in the description. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching again. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the subscribe button, as it really does help me out as a content creator. And if you'd like to get notified of when I post my videos and go live, then make sure to hit that notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye. That voice cracked though.